What is a shooting star? It's a burning fire flying across the night sky. What is a dragon? A beast of fire that flies high in the sky. Perhaps they are one and the same. That's what Shire's young mind asked the first time he saw a shooting star. His parents thought he was silly thinking a shooting star was a dragon, but that didn't stop them from telling him stories of these magnificent beasts. Every night he asked if they could tell him another story about the dragons. They would chuckle at his request for another story, but they gave him. They ended up telling the enchanted child story after story about dragons that watched over us in the stars above, telling him that dragons were feared by many, that they had the power to slaughter all with their mighty claws and burn anything and anyone until there was nothing left of their existence with a bright burning fire. But all these beasts wanted to do was fly with the stars, with their scales shining brightly down upon us. That's what Shire believed he saw when he looked up into the night sky above. A dragon, flying freely without a care in the world. They were fearsome, terrifying beasts, Shire's father would say, but beautiful, majestic, and caring, his mother would say. So what is a shooting star? Perhaps it could just be a dragon. Hey guys, Blazie here, and what you just heard is the start of my book, or at least what it's written at the moment. So, I am working on my very first book. Now, I don't actually know how to go about publishing a book and all that kind of stuff, but it's a story that I would like to be turned into a book. And I'm really excited about this. Yes, I have talked about this topic before on one of my vlogs, but I wanted to do like a separate video to have this one video just to do about the book. So yeah, here it is. So I hope you guys don't mind. I hope you guys don't mind me talking about it again. And yeah, so I am writing a story about a boy and his dragon. In short, that's what it's about. It's not going to be furry related, so I'm sorry to disappoint you there. I mean, it will have a talking dragon. He just won't be Anfo. It'll be a proper dragon, like one of these kind of dragons over here. And it's very much inspired by How to Train Your Dragon, Dragonheart, Aragon, just everything dragon, or just fantasy films in general. It it's one of those things where like I've had a story in my head for a very very long time, but I just can't get around to doing it. Like it's one of those books where I'm just like, yeah, I have this big book idea in mind, and it's gonna be amazing, and I'm gonna do a bunch of other things instead. But one day I will get around to doing that story, and so I try to think. Because the problem with that one, I don't feel like I could turn it into an actual book because it's going to be very furry related. Well, this one is kind of one that you can pick up on the shelves, kind of thing, at any bookstore. There's so many dragon stories out there these days. It's basically just another dragon story, but it's my dragon story. Because, yeah, I've always loved dragons. I've always absolutely loved them. And so I kind of just, yeah, go over here, Hal. And so I just kind of decided I want to make my own dragon story. I want to do one that I am proud of, one that's mine, one that's my story. Yes, there's going to take a lot of elements from all the dragon things that I know, but it's going to be my story, and I'm very, very excited about it. I'm working really hard on it, kinda, sorta. For a good while, every time I was on a bus, I'd take out my phone and write down a whole bunch of notes. Every time that something comes to into my head, I quickly whip out my phone, put it down in my notes, a little note section of my phone. The note section on my phone has absolutely kept come in handy, that's for sure. And so I just write down a whole bunch of things there, and yeah, there's like a whole thing of some notes, and eventually, yeah, I finally have gotten a start on my story. I finally have gotten a start on it. I currently have 10 pages written out, and so I got like at least I'm up to like chapter 2 of it, and I'm really excited, really excited. I'm doing like a proper story format. The way it's all set out in Word is like pretty much exactly how like people would want it to be, as like how it is in like books and such. And I'm actually really thinking about it. There's a lot of times like because it's a medieval setting. It's got to be a medieval setting, and I've like had to research everything, like the roofing that they have on the old houses, all made out of hay. What's that called? It's called thatch. It's called thatching, and so it's just like, oh, okay, cool. I'll wipe that down, and like it's made out of this and that. It's like, okay, I'll wipe that down as well, and I'm like really, really, really thinking about it. I'll think about different use of words, but the meaning behind names for the towns and for the people, the characters, and all that. Like, it's stuff I'm generally really thinking about, really trying. And so, yeah, in short, the story is going to be about I say boy, but he's got to be 20 years old. Because you don't see that too often. You don't really see a story about like a 20-year-old and a dragon kind of thing. You do, like, it's in Dragon Heart such and other things, but for the most part, when it comes to books, it's always just young teenagers. It's like, or just straight up kids. And so I thought, no, you know what? I'm gonna make him at least 20 years old. He's got to be a bit naive, not quite grown up, until obviously later in the story, and then that's when he starts getting called a man, I guess. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but that's a general idea of it. That just kind of happened. So, um, it's going to be about a boy who kind of lives by himself. His family's all dead and all that. Spoilers alert. They die right at the start. It's not really a spoiler. And so he kind of just, lives by himself. He's kind of lonely and all that. And one day, while looking up in the stars, a falling star comes down, crashes down, and turns out to be a dragon. And he managed to meet him first, and the dragon has kind of lost his memories, kind of thing. And so he kind of helps him to like understand that he's a dragon. Like he doesn't even know he could breathe fire, and so he teaches him how to breathe fire. He teaches him how to fly. He teaches him all that kind of stuff. It's kind of how to train a dragon kind of thing, or like how to make your dragon remember, more or less. And they just grow this bond and everything. But then there's this whole other world where the dragons come from, and then that's a whole thing there. Or like that's where the story really gets very fantasy, very deep and meaningful. It's got to be very like humans are crap kind of orientated. And like dragons are these magnificent beasts, so very how to train a dragon, but then Dragonheart, Aragon, and all that kind of stuff, and it's got to be like but then they can also be fearful. They can be dangerous. It's gotta hit like a lot of themes that are very kind of familiar, but again, all told my way, my story, and that's the part that I'm excited about. And I've started writing it, and like I get very excited when I write it. I do have to kind of just like shut myself out from the world and kind of just focus on it. And it gets it's very interesting once you actually start writing, because then you visualize the world, you visualize the characters, and you start to realize, oh, I'm gonna need a new character to do this and that. But then at the same time, at the moment, the character sounds really cool. Like, oh, this sounds like a cool idea. But then you do have to start to think, oh, wait, what does the future mean for that character? Because I never intended for that character to be a thing. Because I ended up making a character I really love. And spoiler alert, he is Ven the Vendor. He is he his name is Ven, and he's a vendor. So he sells little trinkets and everything. He's very much sells like jewelry kind of things. But he's also like very much a swindler. He's very much a pirate kind of character. That kind of "Aye, mate," kind of attitude about him, which I do blame that the fact I'm reading Treasure Island at the moment. Like that's what I'm reading at the moment. Uh, so that's got Long John Silver in it. It's I'm kind of basing that character on him ish, kind of sorta. At least the way he talks, and then and just some of his charm in like the first part of the book anyway, of first little bit with Treasure Island anyway. And then a little bit of Darius in Dragonheart 5. I'm kind of basing him a little bit on him and his attitude, the swashbuckling type. And I love him. I'm really loving him at the moment, even though I'm like only 10 pages in. He's kind of just popped up at the start, kind of helped the character a little bit. But I kind of love him. I kind of love him, and I want him to be more in bigger parts of the book. But he's not a character that like no wait no that's not the point of this story. It's about a boy and his dragon, not a boy and a dragon and then. So I'm kind of struggling with that at the moment because I'm really enjoying writing him. Um, and I kind of got this weird bond friendship thing with the main character that I'm like thinking of, and then it's like, no, wait, he's supposed to be a loner. He's not supposed to have friends. So I have to kind of think about that a bit more better, because that's a bit of an issue. Because yeah, he's not supposed to really have friends. So I need to try to think of a better way to kind of white that character and be like, no, they're acquaintances, more or less. Like, or at least the main character doesn't think of him as a friend. But yeah, I kind of really enjoyed him, and he was not a character. But with all my notes that I put down, he was not a character. It's only when I started writing that like it just kind of happened, and I'm like, oh, I love him. There's got to be like a captain who's got to be the female character in this book, because I figure I at least got to have a female character in there somewhere. It's like I have like a strong captain kind of type, and she's going to be a lot of fun. But then it's just like, sorry, my camera's battery just died, so I don't know what I lost. I don't know where I'm up to. So I think yeah, I'll just talk about the girl captain. I think female captain. Sorry. Yeah, she's got to be like this really cool character, kind of badass kind of character, and I'm gonna do a thing with her and then kind of thing. But the problem is like the idea sounds good at the moment, like in the moment, but I don't know about her future. So there's definitely a part of me that's like I need to go back and look at all my notes and kind of figure out things. I need to slot in these characters into these little sections, or just kind of rewrite the notes and kind of figure out, yeah, what to do with these characters. Because again, I kind of love them, but again, they're not really like the main kind of characters. I don't want. Again, he's meant to be kind of alone. So if anything, they'll kind of be there at the start and at the end. The middle part will be the boy and the dragon. So yeah, I'll think of things, think of different ways. But in general, yeah, like it's very interesting and fascinating once you actually start a story that it just goes into like different directions that you didn't really expect it to, and that's kind of the issue that I'm having at the moment. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I don't know how long it's going to be. Like I'm gonna try and make it like a good like 200 page story at this point. Like a nice big kind of story, but at the same time not too large. Very average size one. Um, yeah, and yeah, I'm very excited, and I hope you guys are excited for it because I don't know when it'll be done. It's not going to be done for like at least like probably a good year, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. And then I don't know if I'll be able to actually get it published because I don't know how to go about any of that. But once it's done, I will go do the research and figure that out because I would love to have an actual printed book. That would be amazing. That would be like a dream come true. So yeah, and then like the key thing with my story is that it's got to be a little gay. It will be gay, okay? I will absolutely say that in terms of, oh yeah, there was that character. Sorry, my mind just went, oh, like, I just remembered I had this idea for this other character who's kind of going to have Ven's personality. Oh, I kind of forgot about him. Oh, hmm. So there's got to be two of them, I guess. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. It won't be, maybe I won't make him just exactly Ven's personality. I can change. Yeah. See the shit you don't kind of remember, don't realize. You kind of have to keep looking at your notes and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I completely forgot what I was saying then. Uh, but that's a big realization. Oh no. Oh yeah, gotta make it a little gay. That's right. The key thing with my story is with a lot of these kind of dragon and human thing, is that they're kind of gay or just like very just like they could be lovers, but obviously they're just like no, they're a man and a dragon, like they can't be, and just I'm. But then it's just like yeah, there's a lot of people out there who would absolutely be okay with it in some weird way. And so I'm kind of just like, yeah, I'm gonna make it kind of obvious for some people. It's not gonna be in your face. It's not gonna be that obvious. There's just gonna be certain lines of dialogue that, especially the LGBT people, the gay people who are into dragons and all that, will be able to pick up. Oh, they could be a thing. That's the key thing. I want to be kind of make it obvious to people that they can be a thing. That's something I want to do. I know, like that could be like no, we can't put that on the bookshelves. But again, it's not going to be in your face. It's not going to be very obvious for straight people, but for gay monster lovers, it's got to be kind of obvious. It's got to be noticeable, kind of thing. And that's the part I'm kind of gonna have fun with. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. Trying to white in those little details, those little things, and it's going to be very much they're just bonding, but there could be more because she doesn't end up with anyone else. There's no female dragon. There's no female counterpart or whatever for the main character. Yeah, basically that kind of thing, and that's got to be a lot of fun. So that's got to be one of the key things in my story. It's like one other story that I would like to write is a gay werewolf story. I want to write a werewolf story because that just sounds awesome. I think that would definitely be the next one on my list of stuff to write, and that's got to be very gay. Because that one's a bit more different in terms of there's so many werewolf love stories kind of stuff, but with a female and a wolf boy kind of thing. For this one, yeah, it's obviously going to be two dudes, and one of them is a werewolf, and it's got to be still very dark kind of story. There's got to be murders and all that kind of stuff in it, but yeah, it's got to be. I'm excited about that one as well. I'm very excited about that one because that one's going to be very gay, very heavily gay. And I don't know if that one will ever get turned into a book, but I'm excited to do the story either way. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's the end of this video. I hope you guys look forward to the story that I do at some point. Yeah. Yeah. So, I know I got shit to do. I have, like, a couple reviews to do and all that, and I'll get around to doing them. Sorry, this video was a bit of a mess. I'm not in the greatest kind of headspace at the moment, greatest kind of mood. So, this video might be just a bit all over the place, because I wasn't prepared to do this. It's like, nah, but I need to get something out. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to my channel, because I love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and this fox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now.